Can you participate in both Algorand Governance and node rewards? We are going to look at that question today on today's Frugal BC. Plus, we're going to talk about when you can expect governance rewards from this last period. We always get a ton of questions every period. I see tons of questions about this, and we'll dive into that. Plus, FAME delisting years. We'll talk about why that is. Should we be concerned about DeFi rewards for the next gov period? We'll dive into that conversation, as well as Rug Ninja's new feature that is yet another attempt at preventing rugging. All that on today's Frugal BC. By the way, guys, if you like this kind of stuff, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. My goal was to get to 5,000 this year, and we're actually getting close to 5,200 as we enter the new year. So happy new year to everybody, and let's get those. Remember, you don't have to smash it. You can just press it gently, although hey, it's New Year's Day, so if you want to smash it, I'm going to give you my permission today. I'm going to give you my permission. And also, we are brought to you by non-fungible domains. If you want that .algo address like me, where it's so much easier to do everything on the Algorand ecosystem, you can check out non-fungible domains. They've got vaults and segments, all kinds of cool features as well. So go check them out in the description below. And we're brought to you by Marcus Aurelius, an NFT and meme coin project on the Algorand blockchain. They're building a community over there on Telegram with the Little Stoic Army. And got quite a roadmap with digital products as well as physical products, 2D game, and even a potential animated series. So a lot of stuff going on at Marcus Aurelius. Go check that out in the description below. And don't forget channel memberships. We've had some channel members lately. You can get videos before anyone else for only $1, so check that out. And we got higher tiers with different features like exclusive videos. So go check that out in the description below. But enough about that. Let's get to today's show. So the first thing we're going to talk about is FAME delisting years, and this is because of the MiCA regulations that Europe is using to regulate stablecoins. Algorand actually set up really well for this, but let's take a look at this. All right, this is from fame.algo. We've had Bilal on the show before. Important update, years delisted from the FAME app. Dear FAME user, we're delisting years to comply with MiCA regulations in Europe. To replace it, we're introducing GoBTC, a faster and more sustainable version of Bitcoin built on Algorand by our friends at Algo Mint. And that's because yours is not going to be supported. Action needed, please swap your yours to Algo or USDC by January 5th. After this date, yours will no longer be supported. Thank you for understanding. And swift action. Probably meant taking swift action, but yeah. So we covered FAME on here. It's like trying to use the blockchain to bridge the gap in global agriculture. Bilal's been on the channel. He's kind of an Algorand OG. So just a quick note from that. But we should get on to our next segment. Should we be concerned about DeFi rewards and the way they're implemented? So this has been kind of one of the contentious issues in Algorand for a while. Some people don't think that the foundation should be putting money into this. Others think it's a good thing. And there was some concern that there wasn't really a vote on this. So let's just dive into this conversation. This is from Governor Hat. We've covered some of his stuff before. He said, I would really like an explanation from Eric LDN, who's the business development and capital markets person at Algorand Foundation. Following me, I should probably follow him back, He says, why TDR is happening without the community having the ability to vote on its continuation and the specific proposals. Why was it rushed through at the end of the quarter during the period from Christmas to New Year's? What, if any, analysis was done to impact consensus, decentralization, and network security by allowing protocols to use free TDR to incentivize their own liquid staking tokens? Whether alternatives to this setup were considered, and why, I think you meant 5 instead of T. It's kind of right next to each other, so I see that. Why LSTs were not carved out from the permitted usage of TDR, and why alternatively or eternally caps put on the new raw reward totals that can be toward any one LST so as not to provide preferential advantage to any LST. And I think that's some very legit questions. I think Adri weighed on this. Yes, she did. Hey, go ahead, I can try. We decided to do a full governance rewards period to mitigate risks should any technical issues arise during the protocol upgrade. For TDR, we didn't have the time to host a voting session, but DeFi projects were asked to keep their plans as close to as possible to those voted on by the community in GP12 with a little bit of wiggle room. I just got back from a week's break and have started reviewing GP14 TDR proposals with that in mind. So far, Algo Ming, Meld Gold, and Wormhole proposals are in compliance as they followed the recommendation above. LSTs are not a thing. We're not a thing yet in GP12, but everyone is excited and projects want to incentivize their pools. We shouldn't ban these incentives, but I agree with capping them. I'll be discussing the issue with the projects and asking that them to review and repost their plans. Stay tuned for more updates. So this is kind of an ongoing thing. Governor Hat says, thank you for responding. He said, we decided to do a full governance period to mitigate any risks should any technical issues arise. I'm not understanding what risks this mitigates with regard to technical issue and proposal upgrades. It says, we are trying to mitigate the economic risks in case of technical issues. I understand you don't like TDR. You made that very clear multiple times. However, it's been approved by governors with high approval since it started. Now, I will say that I've been a bit frustrated with how the Algorand Foundation, also platforms like Tinyman, conduct their surveys, because they put the vote totals before you even vote. I don't think they should show them until actually everything is closed, but at the very least, you shouldn't be able to see the totals until you have voted. So the problem with that is as soon as the vote starts going one way, that will start influencing people who come in after that in a couple of ways. One, if you were on the fence and you see that one is like 90% and one is 10%, you're probably not going to vote for the 10% because you figure it's going to lose. Or if you are decided to vote, and I think this is less likely because you usually have to vote. On some platforms, you actually have to vote to get the rewards due, but on Tinyman, that is not the case. If you were going to vote for the option that is losing and is losing badly, you might just not vote because you might be like, what's the point? They're going to lose. So this is just a general best practice of like every survey taker. You will never see a survey that does it this way because it's just generally a bad practice for the reasons that I listed. So this is something I really, really wish the foundation, I guess it won't matter because governance is supposed to be going away, so to speak, or at least it won't matter for rewards. But even so, because governance is going to continue. It's just eventually not really going to have rewards. This is not how they should do it. I mean, they just shouldn't. They've got to fix this. This is really, really frustrating to me. So anyway, I think this is interesting. We're going to have some overlap for when node rewards start and governance 14. And we're going to talk about that. We got some things further down in the show where we will talk about this. So, but I did want to get on my soapbox a little bit because I'm hoping someone from the foundation will finally listen to me and implement some changes. And same with Tinyman, frankly. All right, this next one, rug pulls have kind of been in the Algorand news lately, mostly because the recent Algo Tardio news, you might remember this, where there was a rug pull and it kind of didn't work. Because of the way Rug Ninja is set up, he was the person who rug pulled was only able to take out like 2.8% of the supply, which had an impact, but not a huge impact. And actually the coin increased later on, which is pretty interesting. So let's look at this new thing from Rug Ninja because they have yet another feature to prevent rug pulls. Another early present, you can now see if a dev is dumping in real time. So they got this little indication here, and they'll give you a little green thing. You have died of dysentery. Oh, it's a little Oregon Trail reference. That's cool. Fascinating. Patrick.algo says, I assume NFT lookups as well. Yep. So you can just look up. You can actually see if someone is buying and selling in real time. This is great. Can you please enable us to see the full user address through clicking on it? Check in 5 minutes. So that's some real. I think this is a great thing. I think this has made a big difference, frankly. I wish they explained it a little more. I think I kind of get an idea, but yeah, this actually would have warranted a much bigger explanation. But I think this is a really good thing. I think Rug Ninja has done a lot to at least reduce rugging because of the way it functions. So I'm glad to see this kind of stuff, and I'm glad to see they're still building on it. And as we've seen, it doesn't completely eliminate rugs. It just makes them more, or I should say less impactful. And that's certainly a helpful thing. All right, we're going to cap off today's show with a couple of questions that I think are really interesting. First off, well, one isn't that interesting. The first one is one that I get all the time. Every time the governance period ends, I don't get as much as I used to, but it still pops up. Everybody asks this, and I think it's worth saying. So let's look here. Governance 13 rewards. Happy New Year. This is on the Algorand subreddit. I just noticed reward distribution for Algorand Governance period 13 is open until January 7th. How do I claim my rewards? What do I have to do to claim my rewards? And thanks in advance. Yeah, so everyone asked this around this time. At least they know, at least this time he seems to understand the period that is through January 7th. And I think, frankly, Algorand could probably do a better job making it more clear that we just send you the rewards. It's automatic. But yes, Chef Frugalnauts, jeez, I don't even know some of these names, man. You just need to wait. The rewards will be sent to your account. Send, not send. Usually takes some days. I would expect them around the 5th of January. I've actually seen them. It's usually on the 7th. So when they say 7th, it usually comes, well, sometimes a little early, but usually the 7th is when you can expect it. And yeah, just like he said, you don't have to do anything. It just comes automatically. I haven't done governance rewards in a while, and last time I tried, I got kicked off because if you do DeFi, from what I can tell, you can't ever put more in because somehow it changes it. That's the only thing I can figure out because I didn't touch my DeFi. I entered it through DeFi. I didn't touch it, and still somehow I got kicked off of governance, and I think it's kind of BS. So this is why I haven't been a big fan. At least staking rewards, I assume, will be a little more stable, as will the liquid staking options. So that's interesting. But we got another one to look at that I actually think is a little more in depth, and I think it's an interesting question that I was kind of wondering myself. So let's look at this. Setting up a node with 30K for rewards and committing for governance. I just set up a node using Ost, and it's online. It is online and participating with about 55,000 algo. I see that Governance 14 just opened up. Just a little confused on this. By having the node set up with 55K algo connected, does that mean I am also committed to Governance 14, or should I go to thing and commit 25K algo and leave 30K for the node to earn rewards? So I think there's actually two questions in here. One, are you automatically entered into governance? And the question is the answer is equivocally no. You do have to actually sign up. But Baka Jabba says you can put it all in governance. Villanelle governance leaves your algos in your wallet. Thus you can stake them for consensus reward. And he said, I just committed them all to 14. Can I also go on Focus and commit there too? He says that's DeFi. I'm not 100%. I think he's talking about liquid staking. And if that's the case, I don't think you can do that. He says that's DeFi. It says it's DeFi. You can do it, but the algos will leave your wallet into an escrow account. But that means you're gonna get busted out of regular governance, out of vanilla governance, right? So unless he had he says, yeah, you'll have to generate participation keys for it. I don't think you should do this. I think you're just going to leave. I think it would be a good idea to do, if you're doing node rewards, to also do governance, because it doesn't leave your wallet in either case. I didn't see anybody from the foundation weigh in on this, and I might ask this later on to get confirmation. But as far as I can tell, you can enter both because they don't leave your wallet in either case. But it will leave your wallet especially if you're already committed. I don't think you can do all three, because that's kind of what he's talking about here. I don't see a path by which you can do all three. If I'm wrong about that, I'll make a note of that on the next video for sure. But as far as I can tell, there's no way to do all three. But I do think you can do governance and node rewards. Some very interesting questions anyway. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. But I hope you guys are having a great 2025. I'm going to make it a great one. It's going to be a very different year for me, and you're probably going to see more videos in a couple of months from me. I'm considering doing a twice weekly live stream, and that will be a different pattern for me because of some changes I'm making. So keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, like I said, the channel memberships are a great place to join the community and learn some more about Algorand and see some extra videos for the higher tiers. Well, I'm Frugal BC. Hope you stay safe out there, and I will see you in the future.